Spend whatever you want in your checking account. It won't even matter because you're actually already saving. This is very simple. I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about. We're gonna split your paycheck into savings and into checking. I did it for myself, and I think it's a great way to save money. I don't see any really solid tips online that actually give you real value. I wanna try and fix that. I have this process and idea that works better than anything I've ever tried. Let me get into this and I'll explain some more. Okay, so decisions are something that's part of saving money. Decisions are extremely difficult. There's too many to do, and it's hard to make decisions. Saving takes a lot of decisions, and what I'm trying to do is to take that decision making out of the saving process. Hear me out. So what I'm referencing here is decision fatigue. Decision fatigue is the idea that after many decisions, your ability to make more and more decisions over the course of the day becomes worse. This is exactly what I'm talking about. The more decisions you have to make, the more fatigue you feel, and the more overwhelmed you feel. Hence, it'll become more difficult. This is the exact problem that I'm talking about when it comes to saving money. There's too many budgets to follow, too many account APRs, values, savings, fees. What do I pick? Too much to choose from. This should be something as easy as buying a coffee. I wanted to make it easy here. You shouldn't have to think about it when you buy a coffee, so why would you have to think about it when you're saving? I'm not gonna make some video about telling you not to buy lattes, not to buy pizza. Do whatever makes you happy, and I'm gonna do a little something different here. I don't really like seeing these overdrawn and over-calculated illustrations showing how much you'd make if you were to save the price of coffee, maybe a few times a week. Yeah, okay, that's pretty unrealistic, and let me tell you, what's the point of life? You gotta enjoy the time that you have here. What's the point of saving it until you're way older? Here's my solution that actually works and eliminates all this bullshit budgeting that nobody wants to do. Let's do it. What I'm talking about here is your paycheck. A lot of people just go like this, checking, and then guess what? Spend it out, spend it out, spend. We need to find a way where you don't just get rid of everything out here. So what I have illustrated is a solution that goes like this. We have our savings and then our multiple savings accounts that are for specific things like car, travel, emergency fund. Let me explain why this method here is a lot better than this method here. You have to automatically divide your check before it hits your checking account and your savings account. Before. This is very simple. I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about. We're gonna split your paycheck into savings and into checking. I did it for myself, and I think it's a great way to save money. Spend whatever you want in your checking account. It won't even matter because you're actually already saving. I currently split up my paycheck like this. I get 10% towards my house down payment fund, 15% towards my emergency fund, 10% towards my student loan savings account, 15% for travel, 10% for Roth IRA, and then that last 40% goes into my checking. I know that's a lot. We're gonna open one account. I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it. It should be quite simple to go from there. Even if you really wanted to, I think this would be worth it. Even if you just wanted to put like 5% savings into that one savings account and then the rest of that 95% into your checking. It's a good idea to just start saving anything, even if it's just a little bit. And if you set this up, you might feel motivated to keep saving more. You could do 1% if you want. I would totally recommend that if you just want to get started. How does this work and how is it possible to set up? It's super easy. I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it. It's a set and forget thing. And most of you guys that have regular jobs already have the employment payroll system that can support this. It's just the splitting up your paycheck part that might be a little confusing. So step one, you're gonna need to evaluate your current financial situation. This is the part where we're gonna choose how much you put into the checking account and how much you put into the savings account. It can be 1% into the savings, or it can be as much as like 60% or even 80% if you really wanna be a high saver. But the one thing you need to figure out is how much does your life cost? How much does it cost for rent, food, utilities, anything like that that's very easy to figure out and fixed? Go ahead and try to figure it out, add up all those numbers and get a single number to figure out how much your life costs. This is pretty much a rough idea of what my life costs. It's listed right here, my rent, my utilities, stuff like that. And so I figured it out. My number is $2,300 per month. And I'm talking mostly necessary things to live. You can add some wants a little bit, but if you're spending like crazy, maybe you could start with the highest number and then work your way down. What I'm saying is, like, if you're spending $3,000 a month total, just write down $3,000 a month, as you don't want to be constricting yourself right away with saving and you might feel unmotivated and give up. I would say just shoot higher because you want to save less than you think you want to save, because It's about getting started and not necessarily saving as much right off the bat. So that $2,300 is what I need to aim to keep in my checking account every single month. So if I'm gonna be saving, I wanna make sure that I can get all the other stuff saved and then let $2,300 fall into my checking account for my life and for whatever I wanna spend, like I just showed you. If you don't know exactly what you're spending, start with your rent and maybe add a rough estimate of what you think you're spending. Go ahead and check the apps like mint.com. If you don't wanna sign up, go ahead and just check your regular banking app and see what you are spending. All right, so my final number is $2,300. Let's go to the next step. So here's where it gets fun. We're gonna go ahead and open a high yield savings account, guys. There's a lot of terms for these accounts. They're called high yield savings accounts or high interest savings accounts. They're better than the one that's built into your checking account. Sometimes you guys might have like a second account that comes with your checking account. I had that at my local credit union, so you might have that. This is not that, and those accounts are not that good as they usually don't have very high interest rates. We're also not gonna be using those built-in savings accounts because they're too convenient. Having something right next to your checking is really tempting and you might switch money back and forth, which is not good. Also, you don't wanna be looking at it too often. This is something that needs to hide away, you won't even know about it, and that's the point. So we're opening a savings account now. I'm gonna go ahead and show you on my computer and let's get started. Here we have Marcus, my favorite high interest savings account. Hashtag not an ad, I really just like them. They're very organized, easy to use, and 3.9% is a great rate. So I'll show you on my screen here. We can go over to savings, high yield savings, and open an account. So I already have an account with them, but I'll show you how to do it. You click open an account, and as you can see, there's zero account fees and no minimum, which is awesome. So you can open an account, which is the online savings account, and we're gonna go over here. You'll fill in your information, hit continue, and then I'm gonna do this real quick and then I'll go to the next screen. So go ahead and put in your address here. It's pretty self-explanatory, and then you're gonna put your social security number in, all the other important stuff like employment, and then hit continue. So I'm not gonna go ahead and finish this because I already have this account, and that's pretty much the last step. It'll verify your identity and then it'll open an account in your name. This is excellent. We just need one account, even though I have like 5, we just need one, and I'll show you why in a sec. The most important part about choosing a bank is to just pick a bank. It doesn't really matter. They all have extreme competition, so these rates are changing all the time. I know there's a lot of people trying to get the best interest rate out of this, but you're really gonna be making maybe $1 more per year, and plus you're gonna have to do taxes on all those accounts, and switching over doesn't make any sense. It's a lot easier to pick the easiest one to use, the most convenient for you. They're all gonna have pretty good interest rates. In fact, Apple just opened up in a high interest savings account today, which is super cool at 4.15%. I gotta check that out. Okay, so we need to make it fund automatically. Here's how you do that. So in your payroll services, you're gonna be getting paid by ADP, Workday, another one of those payroll management software accounts. Go ahead and look into there. You'll see something like payment options or payment elections. This is what we're looking at right here. Payroll services is very common, and even something like a small business has some sort of account management here, so go ahead and check. So what you're gonna do exactly is add the account number and the routing number for your Marcus account, put it into this payment election, and this is how you put your account to get paid. So I'm sure you did this for your checking account as you're getting paid somehow, so that works. Your direct deposit will go directly to that account, but we got to figure out how to split it in half. This is quite easy actually. So to figure out the percentage to put, because it's kind of confusing, we're gonna make it not confusing, do a quick amount of math, and then you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Here's where the number we calculated from step 1 comes into play. Remember that 2,300 that I calculated for myself? This is what you do, take your number here. So what you're gonna do is take that number and divide it by your total net paycheck. The net amount is the amount that you've been getting into your checking account. It's the final amount after taxes and any deductions. The number we calculated from step 1, as a quick refresher, is all of your expenditures that you're gonna be spending. The rest we're gonna put into savings. Congratulations, you know the percentage that you're gonna be saving now. Awesome, now you can talk about it. You now know exactly how much you need to be saving, so go ahead, put that percentage in, as we need to split it up. Make sure that 2,300 or whatever you calculated for your expenditures is going into the checking, and then the rest of your paycheck goes into the savings. Do the percentage allocations there and then click save. This is great, guys. You're gonna be saving a ton of money now with the high yield interest accounts, And I have one more thing to show you, which is basically something, if you want to take it one step further, you can, and I would totally recommend doing this. So like I showed you in my drawing earlier, you can take this to step 4. You can add more accounts, which is exactly what I did for travel, my emergency fund I have separate, car fund, house fund, anything that's expensive and you know that you're going to be spending in later in life. Separate these accounts out so then you could watch them each individually grow and give each one the percent allocation that it needs to hit your specific target. I know this is a lot, but if you just get started, that's totally okay. Come back and watch this video later once you get a little more comfortable with saving. Maybe drop a like if you're interested in looking at it in your liked videos later. So what I did was I just made one account like I showed you earlier, and then in a few months in Marcus, it was super easy to open up another account by just clicking a single button. It wasn't that difficult, and so I opened up 5 accounts. Just note, you're gonna have to do taxes on all 5, but with TurboTax, it's pretty easy. These are not sponsored, by the way. It's just what I do and what I use. I mean, if they want to sponsor me, that could be cool, but that's what I do, guys. Here's how I did. I have an entire Excel document that I did use to figure out how to calculate these rates. I am saving that 10% and like between 10 and 15% for certain allocations here, as I am extending my emergency fund from the 3 to 6 months. I want it to be 12 months now. So yeah, I'll show you the calculator. It's free to use, and you can figure out exactly what you need to be saving for each specific target goal. Well guys, so that impossible goal of saving for a house just became a little bit easier. We all might get houses now if we do this, so keep going, everyone. One more step before I leave is basically step 5. If you want to monitor and adjust as needed, I highly recommend doing so, as we just set everything up. You can set it and forget it if you want, but if you want to hit your goals a little bit sooner, like let's say you have a trip coming up in 6 months, just turn the dial on one of them, make the percentages change, and then you'll be able to put more money into those accounts. That's exactly what I do when my life kind of changes. If I want to take a trip, or if I want to save for a house, or maybe increase my emergency fund, I do turn the percentages a little bit, and I use that Excel calculator that I just showed you earlier to do that. This entire process makes saving so much easier, as you can determine how much you want for that specific goal. Like let's say you want to buy a $325,000 house. You're gonna need somewhere between like $60,000 and $80,000. So you can put that into this calculator here, find out how much you need to be saving, and then find out how much you need to be putting away each month, and then go from there. You can find out the percent that you need to take from your paycheck each month to hit this goal. This is the best way. You gotta hide it from yourself. It'll make it so much easier. And before I take any more of your guys' time, I just wanna thank you for watching this video. This was super cool to make, and I definitely enjoy doing this. I think it's gonna be a great way to save, and I really believe that everyone should just save at least 1% in these high yield savings accounts, as they're such a great deal. And I just wanna make it a little bit easier for everyone to just get started and do this. So if you found value in this video, go ahead and subscribe, see my journey, and keep following along. And I hope you guys all have a great day. Bye.